very exciting to hear the vision behind, hear from the visionary, and hear the vision behind this amazing company that's changing hundreds of thousands of people's lives all around the world. So we're very, very happy, very, very excited, and just thinking about how far we came in 7 years, in 8 years, how far the company came in 10 years. We can't even imagine how far we're going to go, how the future can look like. I mean, when I think about it, I can't even visualize it or imagine it, how it's going to look like in the next 5, 6, 10 years. So that's why it's the best way to look into the future is to hear from the visionary of the company.
Absolutely. I'm so very excited about this myself. You know, for 8 years in the business, 8 years ago, when I first sit in the GWT first official office in Toronto, you know, that was literally like I joined the business because of this gentleman's vision. You know, Ramin showed me draw on the board, the whiteboard, and you know what his was the phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3, and phase 4 about global wealth trade. I bought in that. I didn't join the business because of the beautiful products, because we didn't have much by then, not because of the amazing website. We didn't have a nice website by then. All I bought into is the vision of our own visionary, our own very own CEO. And he touched my heart, and this gentleman actually showed me this is the company going to be, and I believe in that. So that's why I joined the business, and then now look back this 8 years was amazing, amazing, amazing journey.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you know what, Sherry, I was one of the people who also started a year after you, and I remember even when I started, we didn't have designer. It was all fashion jewelry, and again, I bought into the same vision when I heard our CEO said he's standing to revolutionize the network marketing industry. He's standing to revolutionize the designer and fashion industry. He's standing to change it to create thousands of millionaires all around the world with this company. That's the reason I joined. And then I saw the integrity of this man and what he says. I bought into that. That's what I joined. I joined that vision. And you know what? I know there are many of us in the company who are making money. Some of us been in the company for the past 10 years, some of us 8 years, some of us 7 years. But we also have people who joined 2 years ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, some of them are joined 2 years ago, and they're making way more money. Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course.
And they're making 5 figure, 6 figure, and 7 figure. So, but it's really also good to hear from people like Renee. I actually talking about Renee. He just messaged that he's on the call. Renee joined also, then he became #1 top earner in the company. And he also joined right after, it was before you joined. So we would love to hear from Renee before we bring our special guest on the call. Let's hear from Renee. Renee, can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear. Maria, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. Renee, why don't you share with us, what did you see for yourself 7, 8 years ago when you got started in GWT?
Well, thank you very much again, Maria and Sherry, for the amazing introduction. Host, really quickly. I do hear someone's cell phone vibrating. Just a heads up for that, as we do have the call going on for later on. But yeah, I mean, great question, and it's pretty simple. I really only have 2 main reasons why I got started 8 years ago, when the company didn't have anything like Sherry said. What we have today, no website, barely any products, no systems, no training. Number one was I bought into Ramin's vision. I saw where Ramin, our very own CEO and founder, visionary of the company, he's already created 12 millionaires before I got started. So I want to be part of the next batch of millionaires. And so when I say batch, I'm talking about, the CEO has a target, right, to create 1,000 millionaires in GWT over the next 2 decades. And so now knowing someone that has already created 12 millionaires, I didn't know any other possible vehicle out there to become a millionaire at that point in time, and I saw GWT as the most fastest vehicle of getting there. And so one of my main reasons why I got started was, again, seeing Ramin's vision, seeing his plans, and that's why I asked the questions, what's going to be coming up in the company in the next few years? And he told me, well, Renee, we're going to have things like silver, and then sunglasses, and then timepieces, and then handbags, and everything that he said he would do has already happened. So if you're on the call today, I want you to know that we have a CEO who's not just thinking of the next 1 or 2 years, and we're thinking about the next, not just the next 10 years either. We're thinking about the next century to come. The CEO has plans for his son and his son's sons in the future too, and how to run this company. So when you have a man like that, a CEO like that, who's planning for the next century essentially, I mean, you gotta be insane to not give it a shot. And so one of the two biggest reasons why was, again, just believing and seeing where the CEO is going. And the second thing, I guess, that really drove me was just I love the industry of network marketing. I loved the whole concept. My very first time I saw the concept of network marketing, I knew that it made sense. Companies pay people to do marketing instead of companies paying marketing companies to do marketing. And so and I knew that where our CEO is going with this company, despite all the sometimes confusion or negativity around the industry, I knew that GWT would actually make a change in that industry. So that's pretty much what I saw and why I got started right away. And so since then, of course, it was definitely the right decision. Things have everything that he said he would do has actually happened. So I urge you guys on the call today, if you see in this company, it's not your next MLM company. It's not. Don't think of it as another next company. You have to understand where we're going here, and I hope all of you see that, the ones who work hard now, in 5 to 10 years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to say, you know what, thank goodness I built GWT because I'm a multimillionaire now. And don't be the person that 10 years from now looks back and says, you know what, oh my goodness, I should have built GWT. Don't be that person. Be the person that says, thank goodness I built it. And those are the two main reasons. So Maria, back to you. Thank you, guys.
This is amazing, Renee. It's so great to hear from someone who joined 9 years ago, 9 years ago, and became the #1 top earner in the company, the $1 million earner, and hear that you also, like everybody else, also you basically bought into the vision and the visionary of the company. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Renee. And again, Renee, coming from a professional background, he used to be in IT. He had a full-time job, a high-paid job, and yet he made the decision to be part of this amazing industry. Sherry, I believe we have Sean Haynes, also regional ambassador Sean Haynes, on the call. I'm not sure if we could find Lior somehow. We could bring them on. Do you see Sean Haynes on the call?
I see Sean Haynes, but somehow Sean Haynes doesn't have audio connected, so I'm not sure if he can hear us or he can speak at this moment. Let me see if we have here. So Sean, if you can hear us, see Sean, I see your hands up too, but somehow I cannot unmute you. There's no audio button on your end. Maybe you need to log in again.
Okay, awesome. So while we're waiting for Sean, I also know our GWT millionaire, Reza Mesgalu, National Ambassador Reza Mesgalu, is also on the call with us, and I'm not sure if he's with our CEO, but I know he's someone that when I joined the company, he was in the company, but he was still just he wasn't building yet, or maybe he was building, but he was still in the process of building. I remember Renee and yourself and Reza, once he started getting into the building route at the time when he was working at the government job. Once he started getting into the building mode, in a very quick time, he reached the 6-figure income. And it would be very interesting to hear his vision about global wealth trade, given that he was one of the very first people who got himself positioned in the company, but he waited for 3 years to start building. Do we have Reza on the call?
Of course, we do have Raza on the call with us. Raza came from experience, like for 25 years experience before Global World Trade, and there are so many things, that Raza can share with us that we don't even know, and and where this company, come from. I think Raza had a huge contribution on that too. So we would love to hear from Raza, what his past experience and if those experience has affected him personally, and what he's giving, contribute in this company at the very, very, very beginning. So Raza, are you there with us?
Yes, I am, Sherry. Can you hear me?
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much for joining the call. I know you are with your 3 beautiful kids, and this is your Sunday afternoon, your time with your children, but you are here with us. Very, very excited to have you.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's a call of duty, so we made it work. Glad to be on this call. This call is about clear communication and make sure we go forward strong as one, as a team, as a company. We are the best that's out there. We have the best of everything handed to us on a silver platter. Like you said, Sherry, I come from the experience, from the industry. I was in the industry 16 years prior to Global World Trade, and I tell you, stuff that I see here, it still has me in awe. I cannot believe we have a company that caters to us in so many different ways, and then some. So this call is very, very important for everyone to be on, all the leaders, all the new members, all the old members, doesn't matter who. They need to be on these calls on as much as possible, daily, weekly, and you know what, we got to make sure that everybody is on the same page and everybody goes forward the same way. What I've been looking at is this. When I got started in this industry, things were, great industry, and we thought things were tough back then. It was like, you have to build it and you have to work it and you have to bring value to our company back then. We had to do so many things out there on our own as soldiers of the field, as a distributor of the field, because the companies didn't do these things for us. We had to do them. We had to organize so many things, put on so many specials, put so many incentives, organize not just weekly tours, but sort of like conferences, like power weeks and power tours, and we had to do so many things. Conference calls, we had to organize that, and we had to pay for it. We used to do mail-outs. We used to do absolutely everything possible that we needed to do, then some, in order to get our business to the next level. And you know what? What I see today, it's all getting done for us. And what I see today also is that the companies are, there's way more companies out there today than there was back then, and it's become way more cutthroat today than it was back then. It's just become a slaughterhouse out there, and you know what? I count my blessing daily that I am with the company I'm with, because what I see out there is just brutal, just absolutely brutal. What I see out there, what's happening out there with the deal making and all the craziness that's going on, not to mention the products everyone else has. Compensation plan has got so many pitfalls, it's got so many hurdles, it's got so many different aspect to it that looks good on paper, but when you start to dig deep, you realize it's almost impossible to make decent money with those companies, yet alone residuals. So yeah, you know what? This is why when duty calls, even though I was with my kids on a Sunday, I have to do a webinar in a couple hours again, 9 p.m. our time. You know what? I figured this is the business that allows me to do what I do, to live the way I live, to have the freedom that I have. So what? Guess what? When duty calls, I'm there. I do my absolute best to be there. I never actually miss any webinars, even if I'm on the road. With today's technology, I'm able to pull on the side of the road and log in and dial in and listen, because I don't want to miss nothing. This is my future. This is everyone else's future. This is our life. I want to make sure I contribute in every which way that I could. And this is basically, why I'm here. This is why I do what I do. And you know what? I want to make sure absolutely everyone benefits from what's happening in the world of GWT. So at this point, I don't know, do you have any question for me, Sherry?
Reza, we wanted to thank you for being on the call. Again, you have your kids, you have your family. This is a Halloween weekend, and your time should have been with your kids and with your family. But you take that time to be with this webinar, which is for Europe and Africa. So we really appreciate your time being on this webinar with us. We wanted our European and African team, who most of them started initially, these markets started 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We want them to hear what did it take for you to make a decision? What did you buy into when you decided to join GWT? And at what point you decided to go full time and start building the business?
Well, you know, it's quite straightforward. We're all looking for the same thing: money, free time, you know, and that's the challenge, to find the right company to be able to work hard towards. Like, you know, I was there 16 years, 4 different programs, worked extremely hard, and I learned a lot. I'm not going to say those years, 16 years, was a loss, because it wasn't. I learned a lot. So what I see here is I truly appreciate products that's actual true products, very unique, they have value, and compensation plan that's just out of heaven. This compensation plan is out of heaven. I mean, anybody and everybody can come here, get serious, apply themselves, whether they want to supplement or they want to go all out. I decided to go all out. You know, it's like the way I look at it is we got a treasure sitting there. How much of this treasure do I want? Do I want to limit myself to a little bit? I mean, if I want to, that's fine. But no, I want to go all out. And in the process, I want to take a lot of friends and family with me and new friends that I make along the way. I mean, I looked at this whole picture. This is, you know, I've always said it. It's like we got handed a signed check by the CEO, and we have to fill in the amount. How much do we feel that we're worth, that we want to get paid? So let's bring value to the marketplace, to this company, and get rewarded massively. That's simple. So when I saw this, obviously I knew it's going to go all the way, so I launched. But when I decided I want to apply myself, I did not do it to you know, to make some money. I did not do it to make sometimes money. I did this to not just change my future, but my children. So when I'm gone, you know what? I have done as much as I could for my family, for my children, and people in general. The way I look at it is, in the world of direct sales, they need us. Believe me, they need us. They need global wealth trade. They need this opportunity. They need an actual true residual that goes with it. For those of you that have been in this business for a few years, you know what I'm talking about. You know what? It's just unbelievable. I mean, the whole picture. That's when I decided, you know, it's time for me to get going. It's a time for me to get started. It's time for me to change my future. And you know what? I went at it with a vengeance. And you know what? I'm not going to stop. I mean, I don't even look at this as work. When you enjoy doing something as much as I enjoy doing it, I don't consider that work. You know what? So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So back to you, Maria.
Thank you so much, Reza, for sharing your amazing thoughts and how you got started. I know there's so much you want to share with us tonight with our CEO. But before I bring our CEO on the call, we also have one of our top leaders who also started with the company, and he was one of the reasons that when I first...
Sorry, Maria. Hi, Maria. Before you let Raza go, I have one question for Raza. I think you got some feedback from some gentlemen, you know, like saying, I'm not a jewelry person, when I'm not this type of, I don't wear luxury products, I don't wear anything. So I know Raza, you know, like about I think 7 years ago when I first met Raza, I never think Raza would put any ring on his finger. So Raza, would you please give us some, you know, some talk about your feeling about our products as a man?
Well, you know what? Doesn't matter if you're a jewelry person or not. Opportunity is what you got to look at. It's what the masses want. It's what the masses are going. It is what's out there. And you know what? Having the #1 product in the world and constantly evolving and having value in these products, and you know what? That's a no-brainer. For a business person, it doesn't matter if you wear any jewelry at all or not. It doesn't make a difference. The masses do. If you're looking at it from a business point of view, I want to cater. I want to be in the field where people, you know, are in, what people are, buying, what people want. And you know what? It's like saying to someone that spent, I don't know, $2.5 million to buy McDonald's and asking him, oh, do you love your burgers? And chances are most likely said, no, I never even eat that stuff. But the masses do. It's not a good example because those are hamburgers and we all know how good they are for you. But the point I'm trying to make is, as a business person, as a business point of view, you got to look at it and you got to see. Like, you know what? In the 80s, I remember VCRs, they used to sell for $1,000. Believe it or not, 1,000 plus. These big dinosaur-looking, big buttons, massive. $1,000, and they were going off the shelves like hotcakes. Today, they're hard. You know what? So it made sense to get into VCR business back then, whether you watch movies or not. You got to go where the trend is, and this is where it's nothing new. Precious metals and so on and so forth has been around, gaining value for thousands of years, and with us bringing it to a new level in terms of fashion design. I mean, watches. I might not be a jewelry person, but I love watches. Shoes. I might not be a jewelry person, but I wear shoes, and I do like shoes. I've always spent big money on shoes. It doesn't really matter. That's not even a proper objection that I don't wear jewelry. So what? 87% of the population do. We didn't ask you to come here and buy and wear. We're showing you an opportunity that you got to look beyond just yourself. So this would be my answer.
Absolutely, Reza. That's a great answer because smart businessmen don't look at what they wear, but don't look at what they use, but what the demand is out there in the market. And you're 100% right with that.
Absolutely.
All right, Jerry. I think before we bring on our CEO, we also have another gentleman on the call, one of our regional ambassadors who also, when I joined, he was one of the top leaders in the company. And when I heard his story, it made me to make a decision. And he was coming from a banking background, being a manager at one of the largest banks in Canada, which is TD Canada Trust. And he started in Global World Trade, and he's one of the regional ambassadors. He's building a huge team. So it would be so great to hear from Sean Haynes and hear his vision. What did he see for himself to join Global World Trade many years ago? And he's still in the company. What is it that kept him in the company, and what does he see for the future of the company? Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, Maria, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Maria, to you and Sherry hosting the call. And I'm excited to hear next from our very own CEO and visionary. And when I saw the vision that he had, I mean, it was one that I understood immediately could pass a legacy on to my children and my grandchildren. Actually, just this week, I was able to do something that's part of that legacy. He's going to pass on $1 million legacy to my children and grandchildren. It's because of global wealth trade that opportunity even became possible. And so, when I saw the vision of our CEO back then, I know Reza was just talking about not liking jewelry. I had no interest in jewelry at all. I didn't even wear a watch, but I understood this was the product that the wealthy have passed generations to generations. I understood having a global business with a product with no restrictions, high profits that you could build globally, could set up something just like the big designers have had for hundreds of years that could set up residual income to pass on generation to generation. And of course, living in North America, the tax benefits of business, it just made perfect sense. So, seeing our CEO's vision, understanding all these things, that's why I got started. And, 7-8 years later, been earning residual income every week. And, just sharing with someone today, I'm going to Barbados this week, and I said, I never imagined that I could travel 8, 9, 10 times a year, just having become a master ambassador of the company where we're going to be going to Dubai and Nigeria, flying Emirates Airlines business class, flying private jets in Nigeria. I mean, these are just things I could never have dreamed and imagined, when I got started with this company. But all of these things is what becomes possible. Living your dreams and even going beyond your dreams becomes possible through global wealth trade. And again, it's because of the vision of our CEO that that's become possible. And we've been able to change and impact so many lives because of his vision. Where people earning in those markets weekly was a month of income, beyond a month of income for many people in those part of the world weekly with this business. And just that's been able to change so many lives, makes such a difference. I know Dominica, one of our markets where they just had a huge storm, and again, starting from our CEO donating to Dominica, and many of us were able to follow suit and donate to Dominica and give back and make a difference. So this company just allows you, not just for yourself, but for your family, but to go out there and help others, and then to be able to give back where there's a need. You just have that complete freedom, to do the things you want in your life, to help others achieve that freedom in their life, and then to give back to those where there's a need in this world. And it's all due to the vision of our CEO. And imagine what we've done in our first 10 years, where it was really just about research and development, growing the company. There was no website, there was no products, there was no accolades. But again, it was that vision of our CEO, and then of course our senior VP, Mr. Naz Human, came on board, and together they just built this thing to where it is today. Our CTO, Nanad Kalma, creating our amazing website we have today, and today we have all of these things in place that have made us the fastest growing designer in history. And imagine what's going to happen in the next 10 years. We're going to create 1,000 millionaires. People all over the world are going to change their lives. Communities are going to change. Countries are going to change because of this business. It all came back to the vision of one person, which is our CEO. So I'm just so blessed and thankful, Maria, and I know everyone who's listening to this call today, this is your opportunity of a lifetime. This is the only opportunity you need to create for yourself and for the generations to come and make a difference in the world. It's global wealth trade. So thank you, Maria. Thank you, Sherry, again for hosting this call, and pass it right back to you.
Sean, I still remember back in the 2007 in November when I walked in that office and I saw you there. I was like shocked because we know each other before Global Wealth Trade, right? So I was quite shocked when I saw you there, and then of course we had a great conversation. I still remember that you told me one sentence. You're saying, Sherry, I found myself a home. I would never, ever join another network marketing company again. I do not have to. And so that actually touched me a lot too, besides Ramin's vision. And I want to thank you for that. And, I want to thank you for our conversation for 45 minutes in the office. You give me a lot of confidence in this business because you are someone that I know and I highly respect before Global Wealth Trade. And your sentence that's saying, this is the home, and I found myself a home back in November 2007 myself too. So thank you, Sean.
Oh, my pleasure, Sherry. Me, I've been looking around for many years. I've seen so many companies, but I would never touch them with a 10-foot pole. But when I saw this company, I said, okay, this is the company that I see can truly make the promise of network marketing. I mean, we know network marketing is the greatest industry, and the promise it has is great, but the problem is finding the right company. And all the companies I ever looked at, I said, no, I would never touch these companies. But when I saw Global Wealth Trade, I said, okay, this is the company I know I can get into. It'll be the only company I need to get into, and here we are today. So, I'm so glad I saw you then, and I was able to share that with you, and I know how many lives you've changed as well over the last 8 years, and so many more lives still to change.
Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. So, Maria, I think it's a good time now for us to bring our own visionary, our CEO, the man who created this business, and the man with many years experience in network marketing industry, and the man who changed so many people's lives and create many, many millionaires and many more to come, to be on this call and share with us his in his thought about his past and our present and the vision of this business. So, Maria, do we have our CEO on the call?
Absolutely, Sherry. I am so excited. I cannot wait to hear from our CEO tonight. For ladies and gentlemen, for those of you first time hearing about Global World Trade or hearing about the CEO of this company, let me tell you a little bit. This gentleman is coming from over 25 years experience in network marketing industry. He built organizations of hundreds of thousands of distributors in 4 different MLM companies in the past. And basically before he started in Global World Trade. And one thing that was very, very important for me coming from the industry, realizing that the CEO of this company is not coming from being a corporate CEO, only being in the corporate board and not knowing what it takes to build an organization. This gentleman was a distributor, been a soldier, built organizations. He knows what it means to be a distributor and what it means to be a leader. So and that was very, very important for us, and this is one of the reasons why this company is thriving, and we're so happy in this company because our CEO really takes care of distributors because he's been there for so many years. He's done it. He's been there, and also this gentleman was selected as one of the top compensation plan experts in the world. I believe he's one of the top 3, and he is actually the #1 in the entire world who evaluate and write compensation plans for the industry. He's also the founder of Forensic Networker, and with this system that he actually personally created, he created over 18 millionaires in the world. He coached and support and trained them to become millionaires in the world. This gentleman touched hundreds of thousands of people's lives in his life, and he's the master of this business, and he created Global World Trade, and we are so excited. We all joined this company, and we're still in this company after 8, 9, 10 years, and for another 20, 100 years to come because of his vision. So we are very excited to hear the past, the present, and the future of Global World Trade. Global World Trade. Do we have Ramin on the call with us tonight? Sherry, can you check if I believe Ramin is on the line with Reza? Hi,
okay?
Hello, Ramin. Are you on the call with us?
Hi, Maria. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Ramin. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you have your son, and this is the Halloween weekend in Canada, and you should have been with your family, but you take the time out of your busy schedule, being the time with your family, to be on the call with us. We are very excited, and we appreciate that, sir.
All right, no problem. Hey, listen, like Reza said, duty calls, and when I got a message, well, an hour and a half ago, that we're going to have a ton of people on the call tonight, and you guys asked if you can come on board, instantly had to make some adjustments. So at some restaurant reservation, we had to bring people here to take care of the men's girl clan upstairs. You know, but hey, I'm not gonna miss these calls. And if it sounds like that we're having an earthquake here, well, it's just a men's girl clan upstairs. They call it play. So that's what we. So if you hear some bumps, it's because they're just having a good old time. Good evening, Africa, Europe, Australia, and good afternoon, North America. It's always an absolute pleasure. I get jazzed getting on these calls because you know what? Here's my philosophy for the past 26 years. If I can reach within you, one of you, I know there's hundreds of lines on right now, but if I can reach within one of you and manipulate something, if something on this call is going to make struck a chord with something within you to go ahead and hit a financial home run, to hit out of the park, to change your life, and through you we change other people's lives, then it was well worth our time to change our whole plan today to be here, even though I don't get to see my son other than the weekends. So I am absolutely jazzed to be here, and we're going to have some fun today. Earlier, a question that was asked from Reza. Well, I'm not a jewelry business. I'm not interested in jewelry, or it's not something that, how do you respond to that? Well, first and foremost, folks, let's get this right. We're not in a jewelry business. In fact, I've worked so hard, spent millions, tens of millions, as a matter of fact, to make sure that we are not considered a jewelry business. Right from day one, I never wanted to be a Cartier. I wanted to be a Louis Vuitton. We are a designer fashion house. Jewelry happens to be one of the core lines of products that we have, but we're not in a jewelry business. Semantics do matter. Make sure you do not represent us as a jewelry company. Remember, there are half a dozen home party companies out there selling fashion jewelry. Don't put us in the same category as those companies. We're a designer fashion house. Designer fashion house has many verticals of product line: shoes, bags, optical, watches, and happens that one of them happens to be jewelry. Make sure that is clear. The second question is that, well, somebody says, well, I'm not into jewelry. Well, guess what? Most of our people weren't either at first. They absolutely love it now, but they weren't at first at all. It's irrelevant anyways. As I always talk about, there's 17,000 McDonald's franchises in the world. It doesn't mean that the owners love Big Mac. They did it because at the time the business made sense. The oil business, gold business, silver business, fashion business, it's exploding because the business makes sense. Do you really think that the people in the oil business because they love oil? No, the business makes sense. You want to be in a thriving industry. Now, if you want to get to stats, I don't like to do that, but let's do it just for fun anyways. Years ago, we had this on our PowerPoint. Maybe we should talk about it. About Magazine, one of the most respected lifestyle magazines in the world, and you can actually Google this online. They said jewelry, jewelry is the only product on the planet that 80% of the population use every single day. This is a quote from the About magazine, and we have this quote on our PowerPoint. Not even food groups fall into that, because some people are vegetarian, don't eat meat. Some people can't have dairy. Some people don't have eggs. The only product that 80% of the population uses every single day happens to be jewelry, whether it's that wedding band, the earring, the watch. And here's another story, fun story for you. Years ago, a friend of mine told me that. I was sitting on his yacht, and he was my original mentor when I first got into this industry back in 1990. He's one of those, he used to be, I guess he's out of the industry now, but he was one of those people that refused to change their mind about nutrition, even though after that original success he had, he went to 6 different companies that didn't work out, and now he's out of the industry. Well, I remember years ago when I first launched a company, this back in 2007, I was on his yacht, and at the time, he was in the nutrition business. He said, Ramin, you know, kind of contradictory conversation. He said, you know, Ramin, I love your company. Something sexy about your company. And he's an Italian guy with an Italian accent. Something sexy about your company. But you know, I'm just not into jewelry. I'm just not into jewelry. So I looked at him. I said, you know what, Pierre? You're the reason. You just validated why we're going to be the fastest billion-dollar company in MLM. Because you're standing in front of me, and you're telling me you're not into jewelry, and you're saying that wearing a ring, a gold bracelet, a watch, and a gold chain. He looked at himself, because he was on a boat, so he had to have a shirt on. He said, yeah, eh? Show me another product that people don't like and they still use. It doesn't happen, because jewelry is not a fashion statement anymore. It's something that we do because it's part of our makeup. Your 3-year-old boys and girls are wearing earrings and putting bracelets on. You get married, the most important day of your life. What do you exchange? Bottle of juice? You exchange jewelry, ring. That is a symbol of life and commitment. This is beyond fashion statement. So again, I don't want to keep talking about jewelry because we're not a jewelry business. We're a designer fashion house business. But if you want to get into the particulars of it, the reason why for the past 6,000 years of humanity, wars started over gold and silver is because it's part of our makeup. Wars didn't start over juice, didn't start over some type of communication method. Queens and kings reserved gold and silver for themselves. So we brought this out to the world. I used to make fun of this. I said, you could be a jungle bunny in some remote parts of Amazon or Australia or Africa, remote, some of those tribal, where they're very remote, where they don't even wear clothes. But guess what? They got a whole bunch of sticks coming out their nose and a bunch of sticks on their neck. They wear jewelry, their own jewelry. They're decorated from head to toe. This is beyond something that we just buy for fashion statement. It is part of our makeup. So again, this wasn't part of what I wanted to talk about today, but I am going to talk about this a little bit. John Paul Getty, Pilzer, he put out a CD about a dozen years ago. Of course, he's very famous. He was the organizer and consultant to many presidents. And Pilzer, we tend to quote him a lot. And he said that he put in a CD out, a tape out, for MLM distributors. Of course, all MLMs are nutrition. So he talked about how nutrition will be the next trillion-dollar industry, trying to promote nutrition. Well, I took him to task on that, because now we have every MLM company going around. Oh, Pilzer talks about how nutrition would be the next trillion-dollar industry, and look what Pilzer is saying this, right? I always say half-truth is worse than a lie, because a lie you can identify right away. Half-truth looks like it's the truth, so it's worse than a lie. So I took Pilzer to task for that actually. I sent him an email on this. So look, I understand the marketing side. You're trying to sell 2 million more tapes, so it's profitable to say stuff that's to an industry that's big, which is a health and nutrition in MLM. But the reality of it is, if someone wants to take that as a nutrition business, a good business to be in this day and age, you have misled people. I've been talking about this for the past 15 years. Remember, I am Mr. Nutrition, ex-world champion, 19 years in training. My first 4 companies was nutrition. I made my first $3.5 million in nutrition MLM. I just didn't want one when I started my own, because I know those days are gone. 90s, 80s made sense. There wasn't that many companies out there. In fact, when I first got started in MLM in nutrition, there was only 4 or 5 companies that we knew of that was actually sold nutrition products through MLM. And we had the Nutrilite division. Herbalife was around, Shaklee was around, New Skin was new, but they were around. And that's really about it. A couple of them just got started. And there was no health food stores around. There was no grocery stores that carried health products. Internet wasn't around. There was nothing. So it made sense. It was a product that's hard to find. People were getting interested in it, and we made a ton of money. Today, every grocery store is your competition. Internet is loaded. TV is loaded, plus about 2,000 plus other companies who are promoting the best juice. Nobody talks about having the second best juice, by the way. Notice? They also know our juice is better, our cream is better. So, going down this path here, let me take a look at this. So I took Pilzer to task on this. I said, look, although nutrition and health and wellness someday is going to be a trillion-dollar industry, the market share within the MLM platform has been on a free fall since the mid-1990s. So for the past 20 years or so, the market share of nutrition, health, and wellness in the MLM platform and in the MLM method of distribution has been on a free fall, because the number of companies launching every week is far more than the industry growth. And when you talk about the health and wellness industry, they're not talking about $1 trillion in MLM. They're talking about that 90% of that comes from outside MLM, stores, internet, from the retail platform. The direct marketing has nothing to do with the MLM side. So the small portion that falls in the MLM side, and when you take a look, how many companies are launching every single month in the nutrition, health, and wellness, the market share has been on a free fall, on a decline for the past 15 to 20 years. Where I got started and Reza got started in 1990, we could sell, our testimony to sell a nutritional line was, hey, your nail grows faster, you sleep better, your hair is shinier. And people bought cases at the time. They had no other choice. Today, it's so difficult to market those products. What they're referring to, exaggeration, embellishment. They talk about cancer and AIDS and heart disease. Oh, it's going to cure this and that, which gets the companies and them in trouble because it's very difficult to promote a product that's loaded around you with competition. So when you take a look at our industry versus the nutrition industry, yeah, health and wellness will be a $1 trillion industry someday. It is growing. It's 90% of the growth is outside MLM, but I guess as an industry, it's growing. That's why that CD that Pilzer put up was so misleading, because vast majority of that growth will not even be in MLM. And what's in MLM, they're growing so fast as companies that the market share for someone who launches an MLM today, the market share is far less than we had, actually someone else had 5 years ago, and they had less than 10 years ago, and 10 years ago had less than what we had in 1990. In fact, Robert Kiyosaki just put out a statement, didn't he? And Robert Kiyosaki just put it out saying that nutrition is overloaded. It is oversaturated in MLM. This is a new development, this one with Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about that if you got into MLM, it would not be nutrition for the exact same reasons. Now, Robert Kiyosaki is about 15 years late because I've been talking about this since the mid-1990s. That's why Mr. Nutrition, myself, when I left that industry, I left nutrition. When I launched my own company, I got it out. I came out of the nutrition industry. I wanted something different. I wanted something that was fresh. So if the new health and wellness is going to be the next $1 trillion industry, but guess what? Fashion's already $1.4 trillion. And while there's 2,000 plus companies in a $700 billion industry right now, health and wellness, we have one company in a $1.4 trillion industry doing MLM, and that's us. One company versus 2,000 companies. Can you see why our stats blow away any other company out there? Can you see that even health and wellness companies now they start to move around to different platforms because they're struggling? It's very difficult to promote a product that you go tell the world, or our juice is the best juice in the world, and there's 2,000 other companies that say the exact same thing. Well, our juice is the best juice in the world. When everybody claims their product is the best in the world, whether it is or not, it's very difficult to promote that. Earlier today, Leor had a post up, and somebody, I guess, he was talking to, who came from nutrition, who's involved in a nutrition company, he tried to actually attack Leor on our product line. You know, so I wrote, you know, it's very unsophisticated. Let me just be blunt. It's pretty stupid to go ahead and throw glass at a castle when you live in a glass house. You're really going to attack us seriously? With us being, I guess, the upside to the downside to our industry, the disadvantage that we have in global wealth trade over other companies, health and wellness companies, is that we can't just say things that's not true. You see, our industry is regulated. If we say our product is certain quality, it has to be, or you go to jail. We're in Canada. We're a Canadian company. The most regulated, the most controlled country in the world when it comes to manufacturing standard. This is the reason why we have to put the manufacturer's name in our jewelry, because if we say it's a 950 and it's not a 950, it's a 925, they shut us down and I go to jail as a director of the company. If I say it's a 19 karat gold or 21 karat gold, that's why it's stamped 19 and 21. It's because that's not because we really want to, or we would anyways, because we have something no one else has. But the people who make 10 karat gold and 14 karat gold,
Do you really think they want to put 14 and 10K in it? They rather not put anything at all, so people think it's 18. They do it because it's law. You have to say what it is. It's regulated. So the downside we have in our head office is that my challenge is I can't just say things that's not true, like nutrition and health and wellness companies do. Everybody puts out a product out there, who knows what's in it, and oh, this is the best juice in the world, and they do all kinds of illegal testimonials with it, and eventually gets them in trouble. But everyone says, oh, we got the best juice. No one's got a laboratory at home, so nobody knows until you see the media zeroes in on one of them, whether it was Noni, the wave that Noni juice had back in the 90s. No other nutrition companies ever had. And next thing you know, the media zeroes in on them saying, hey, there's nothing special about this juice. Or Goji, do you remember that Goji juice when you were having the highest buzz around the world, how it was a miracle drink? The next thing there's an expose on them. They get to a lab and they said it's no different than cranberry juice, except you're paying 1,800 times more for it. So again, nutrition companies can make false claims. They're not regulated. And eventually some media company, they actually test the product, find out, oh, it's not nowhere close to what they say it is. So our downside is in global wealth trade, we cannot make a claim that's not true because our industry is actually regulated. The precious industry is regulated. I can't do what other MLM companies do, saying we're the best if we're not. Remember, we stamp this in every piece, right? We can't say it's made in Italy if it's not made in Italy. All the stuff is regulated. So our downside is we can't make false claims like other companies do. That's the downside. The upside is once we do what we have to do to create those things that are best in industry, now it's authenticated. Now it's stamped. Now the regulators see it every single time we ship it out of the country. Now there is no question or not whether it is 19K or 21K or 950 or made in France. There's no question because it's a regulated industry. None of you question that. But, so that's our upside. You know we're the best because no one else does what we do. But other MLM companies, because there is no authentication, it's just basic story driven, and everyone's just buying a story. No, we got the best juice in the world. Until they're not getting any results. You know that. They're not getting results, but just saying it, right? Until the next company pops up, they have a similar juice. They got 10% more aloe vera on theirs, and their ginseng comes from the Mars, not the Himalayas. Next thing you know, half of your team switches to the next juice because, again, no one is authenticating these products. It's just story that the company puts out. So the other companies are story driven. This is why you have no security if you're building a team. There's no security. If you were in nutrition today, every single week you would have to play PR. You need to put a net around the entire team because guess what? You'll be under constant attack by competing companies who have a better juice, better skincare, better cream, better whatever, and better comp plan. So you constantly have to find out what's in the ingredients of their product. You have to become half a doctor, try to go side-by-side comparison of your juice versus their juice. This is what's going on in that industry right now. It is an absolute mess. And what I'm talking about is not new because when I talked about, I spent the first 9.5 years in nutrition. Even towards the end, now this is in the 90s now, 1990s, even towards the end, when I was in nutrition, there was hundreds of MLM companies already launched. And they all claimed they had the best products. Now there's thousands, in fact, even much worse. So I found myself playing PR constantly because some disgruntled distributor who wasn't making money switched to the latest thing just popped. Oh, better product. Next thing you know, because of nutrition, because of where the comp plans are set up, a lot of people aren't making any money in those companies anyways. So now they think by moving to that new story that they're going to make money. So you lose half of your team, half of your auto shifts, everything's gone. Again, this happens every single week. The reason why you guys don't worry about that in our business, there is no other company doing anything like what we do. You never have to worry about tomorrow another electrical design and fashion launching that they're at least trying to even say they got similar products to us. There is no such thing. And I'll tell you something, I will share with you why but no one can do what we do. This is why no one has done what we have done. We're in business for 10 years. We have a pretty big name out there. If somebody could have copied what we do, they would have done it. They just don't have our capabilities. So this wasn't really part of my agenda to talk today, but you know what? Everything is helpful. And because Leo did a good job schooling that young man or whoever that person was, I thought, you know what? You may come across this. So remember this. The nutrition and health and wellness industry, yeah, someday you'll hit the trillion. But 2,000 plus companies are registered, probably close to 5,000 companies are not registered, and 97% in health and wellness in it. Every year that goes by, the market share in the health and wellness is reducing. Every year that goes by, it gets tougher and tougher for people who promote that to promote health and wellness in direct sales. This is where Robert Kiyosaki recently, a few weeks ago, said that health and wellness in MLM it's oversaturated. Now again, like I said, it's 15 years late because back in 2003, which is about 14 years ago, in the United States, Wall Street Journal, every decade or so, Wall Street Journal does a piece on MLM. Now they're not a fan of MLM, and I think occasionally they put out something. And here's what they said: if you're now, this is 2003. Imagine what it is right now. It said, if you're promoting a health and wellness product in MLM, this is the Wall Street Journal, folks. They wrote, if you're promoting a health and wellness product in MLM, you're competing with 30 million other people. And that's in the United States alone. Look, what is MLM? It's business. And the very first thing you want to look at in a business, make sure that the business is not saturated. The product is not saturated. Certainly after 70 years, the nutrition world in the MLM is saturated. And here is why that can happen in the nutrition world in MLM, is because MLM is a business beyond borders. So anyone from Poland, from wherever in the world, they have access to 2,000 options. So it doesn't matter if you go new territory. So they have other options. And sooner or later, some of you in that industry, some of the people are not going to make a lot of money, and they go to a similar company. It can happen here. We have people in GWT who don't make money, right? Because whether they're not serious or they just haven't made money yet. They don't have an option to go to. There's no one else do what we do. Certainly nobody's going to leave the red carpet lifestyle here to go to selling bottles and juices. They won't do that. So at least you know you're safe with your team. We are the best, authenticated best comp plan, authenticated best products, and this your people stay on the IA and we see our results, right? But if you want a nutrition product, your team who are frustrated, they have 2,000 plus options to go to. You don't need to be a business expert to understand how life is good here. However, in absence of us talking about this, I would say people need a point of reference. And if you don't know what other people are going through, then you start to keep worrying about your little pity parties. There's an old saying, I felt bad to have no shoes till I met a man that had no feet. So now that you know how life would be if Global Wealth Trade was a health and wellness company, you would have serious consequences, serious problems. Even though we probably still have the best compensation plan compared to what's out there in nutrition, but imagine trying to compete with every company around you that claim that product's better than yours in MLM. So you don't have that in Global Wealth Trade. So all right, so we dealt with that. But why don't you share that? You were with nutrition before, maybe just for fun. Our first company. And here's another thing I want to talk about, and I want the rest to comment on this as well. My first company, which I spent 9.5 years with, made a few $1 million. They had about 25 different products, but 90% of our product was one particular herbal drink, was called Intra. They had skincare as well. They had cleaning products, biodegradables, all this stuff. But 90% of the sales, 95% of the sales was one product, which was this miracle drink that we took, right? And the problem with a miracle drink is that when you have one flagship product, when something goes wrong with that product, your business is devastated. And in health and wellness, things can go wrong. Or if someone copies it, which they always do, if something is got a buzz, there's always 10 copies that will come out over the next 12 months. Next thing you know, you lost half of your team because now they're going to the next product that's even superior to the one you put out put out last year. So we had this intro every time, and we built it, and twice. That's one story. Twice, almost the same day, year after year, something went wrong, where our check dropped by $20,000 overnight. Let's just have fun with that, because again, that is not unique to that company. This happens all the time in health and wellness and nutrition. And maybe we'll talk about how your people will call in by the thousands, complaining about the new shipment just came in, and all this stuff. Why don't you take a few minutes and take them through this? Try to be Reza now. You're a team leader, thousands of people, and this happens in your company with the only flagship product you have. Now in GWT, we got 1,400 flagship products. If something goes wrong, nobody cares. They have many more to choose from. That's not the case with health and wellness companies. Usually they got one product as a hero. And when something goes wrong or gets copied by other companies, you lose half your team. So let's share with us what we went through.
Well, I'm still having nightmares about it, even though it was so many years ago. I remember we built up the anticipation about this magical juice that's one in the world, the one and only in the world, that's going to make everybody a billionaire. And we all couldn't wait, and it was great anticipation, and we started to order, buy dozens and dozens of cases. And each case, I believe, we used to hold 12 bottles in it, or 9 or 12 bottles, I don't remember. And each case cost $300 and some odd dollars. I remember that too. And here everybody was, the thing was to order 9 cases at a time. Everybody ordered 9 cases at a time. And here we were, and when it got all opened up, we ordered these cases, we brought these cases, we started marketing these cases. It seemed like, my God, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for, because everything was beautiful. The juice tasted okay. It read good on the label, and everything was great. And we got this great momentum building into the summer. And you know what? We figured, when the summer comes, we're not going to feel none, because we got this magical product as we are at an all-time high, and people are just going nuts. And, first I got the first phone call, the second phone call, the third phone call. The first one I made an excuse to say, well, I don't know what happened. I'll find out. Second one came in. I'm like, oh, I'll look into it. It must be, some kind of something. The third, the fourth, all of a sudden, I got people that just joined the day ago, a week ago, a month ago, that had put $3,000-4,000 on the line for these products. And they have not only products that's exploding, it's actually doing damage to their houses. It's just making a mess all around, and some of them could be hazardous. People heard explosions when they woke up in the middle of the night, not knowing what it was, only to find out these products are like time bombs. And you know what? How do you explain that? I just didn't know what to do. Here I was trying to keep myself together. So while I'm trying to contact the company and find out what's going on, and they're telling us, yes, they're aware. They give us a bunch of reasons why it's happening. Okay, great. The reasons, whether I understand it or not, the people, the masses won't understand that. All they know is they spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 of products that they cannot market, and some of them even worse. They got some of these products in the hands of their customers. These products are supposed to be good for you, right? Not to explode. And you know what? We had to pull it together. Leadership had to pull it together. With the corp had to pull it together. Emergency calls, emergency meetings, find out what's going on, stop taking orders. People could order, but we're only going to release it to them when we got the finished product. It's not going to explode to the people. And you know what? I remember it was 3 months, I believe. It was a long time that we were only selling this stuff, but we could not actually ship it to them. And they're trying to explain that to a new person. That, yeah, you should buy this miracle juice, but we don't know when you're going to get it. But we did it. We got together as a leadership, and we did it. And here came the fall, and we figured, okay, beautiful. Everything seems to be okay. We're back to normal. You know what? it happened, whatever happened, call it growing pains and go forward. We had a blast through that fall, started building all the damage that was done, going into the winter, coming to the spring, and we thought, what a bad nightmare that was. Thank God it's beyond us. Till we hit summer again and products started exploding again. I'm like, okay. And you know what? Like Ramin said, you know, many people dropped off. I mean, they left. Many of the customers never ordered again. Doesn't matter what the explanation was. And you know what? Us as leaders, and you know what? We believed in the product. We believed in our company, so we decided to build it again. So yeah, you know what? These are some of the challenges we've seen before in the past. And you know what? Thank God in global world trade, our products don't explode. Our products are unbelievable. I don't know, maybe I'm a lucky individual. Every single I have ordered from this company, whether since I was active in 2008 or since 2005, I still have today. They still look showroom condition. You know, whether it's my silver rings, gold, fairy mush, whatever it is, I still have them. So I don't know, maybe I'm nice to my products. I don't know, maybe I got lucky, but you know what? These are the things that I'm so happy that we do not have in global world trade. We never have to worry about things like that. So back to you, Ramin.
Thanks, Wes. But you know what? Here's the thing. When you manufacture 1,400 SKUs, some will go wrong because we manufacture from the scratch. We draw, we go, and as you saw in the Innovation and Product Development Conference, I clearly explained, you know, that sometimes things go wrong when you start things from scratch. But you know what? Why we're strong, we keep on growing, is because what we talked about earlier. We don't have one flagship product. When something goes wrong, you lose 90% of your team. We have 1,400 flagship products, and some markets who, for example, are having a hard time with posh discoloring, whether we're sticking to fairy, sticking to other type of products, so we have the leather goods. So here, again, we are so safe that if this was a health and wellness company where we were one product company, you would be at risk. But because we're so vast and we keep on expanding them further, doesn't matter if somebody doesn't like something in our lineup, they just buy something different. So again, going back, ladies and gentlemen, and this wasn't really part of my conversation today, but I think it's important that we talk about these things. When somebody says I'm not in the jewelry, first of all, well, so what? The business makes sense. First of all, we're not in the jewelry business. We're a designer fashion house. So tell me, John, we're not in the jewelry business. So tell me, John, how do you feel about the designer business? How do you feel about fashion? How do you feel about Costco? How do you feel about Gucci and Louis Vuitton? How do you feel about Michael Kors? How do you feel about luxury in general? That's the type of business that we're in. We're not in a jewelry business. All right, so I'll tell you what, we can talk for days, and I love doing this stuff because remember, one advantage that you guys have is that I came from the field. I spent 14 years as a soldier, just like you, building. I've been through the ups and downs, the emotional roller coaster. I've had my pity parties, thousands of them. But you know why I am so revved up here? Is because I've seen the other side. And I saw it better than anyone else. And I built it. I was 10 years of the 14 years on the, 12 years of the 14 years on the field. I was full-time. 10 years of I had six-figure income, but I went through a lot of ups and downs. So going back to the other saying, I felt bad, though no shoe, till the man had no feet. I see outside GWT people that have no feet chopped off. I'm not going to worry about my shoes. Once you give human beings that point of reference, boy, oh boy, we can have a petty party on anything. I always talk about this. Princess Diana was depressed. If you could be that fortunate, Princess Diana could be that fortunate and still be depressed, what does that tell you about the human psyche? That means we could become depressed, or we could make a complaint, we could have a petty party on anything. But when you take a look at your situation and you compare it to what's the alternative, then boy, oh boy, what a awakening that is. Somebody once says, you know this, your people will tell you that, somebody will tell you, it's not going to work for me, it's not working for me, so I'm going to quit. The two words that you want to mention to them, two words, these are the two key vital words. The question, what you gonna, this is a question, it's a 2-word question. It's vital. It's the end of the road, and boy, oh boy, you better drive this one home. I'm going to quit because it's not going to work out. Maybe you have to pose this question to yourself. And here's the 2 words. All right? You want to quit? Now what? So you quit. Now what? Think about that for a minute. I'm going to let you think about this. You're having a pity party. Things are not going as fast as other people. Oh, you made all kinds of reasons why this is not for you. Because you're different. Because your people are different. Your culture is different. I don't know. People your weight are different. I don't know. People with your color of hair are different. You know how it is. You make up all those reasons. You've convinced yourself. You're going to quit. Now what? Is life going to be any better? Let me tell you a story. My first company, got in 1990, 20 years old, young, going through a lot of emotional roller coaster. Don't know nothing about this industry, but I'm highly motivated because my point of reference was I seen the restaurant business and I hated it. I didn't want to be doing that for another 30 years of my life. At age 20, I already hated it. Somebody showed me this concept of direct sales, MLM, got into the profession part-time, worked it real hard. Some saw some quick success too. Well, I wasn't doing it right, so it was going down. Quick out, in fact, we had such big success between my family that we ended up in the company magazine faster than our uplines did. Well, we weren't doing it right, and the business went down quickly after that. And my uplines hated us now because we ended up in the magazine before them. Kind of dumb because they should be happy we made them a ton of money, but anyway, that's just how human beings are. Long story short, I wanted to quit 6 times in the first 9 months. Get that? I wanted to quit 6 times. Ramin Mescarlu was going to quit the industry 6 times in the first 9 months. Can you imagine if I would have done that? How the last 26 years would have been like. For me and the million people I've been able to teach and train and associate affiliate with. Can you imagine? So on the 9th month, I decided that's it, I'm going to quit for sure this time. And one of the top guys of the company, Jim, was flying in from Alberta. He knew I was going to quit. He had told my upline to make sure that I pick him up from his hotel to bring him to a venue where he was speaking that day. It was a Saturday. I remember it clearly. So I left my pizza business. I went and picked him up. And he said to me, so you want to quit? I said, actually, no. So he goes, let's go by Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is a coffee shop here in Canada. And let's have a coffee. So we went to coffee shop. Then he said, so, I hear you want to quit. I said, yep, that's it. I'm going to quit. He said, okay. Let me ask you some questions. He says, did you find something better? I said, well, no, not really. You know, it's not working. I hate my upline. They hate me and all this stuff, right? It's okay. So you didn't find something better. Let me ask you, is this business slowing your other business down, your pizza business, your restaurant business? Is that suffering because of this business, the MLM business? I said, well, not really. It's okay. You didn't find something better. There's no alternative. You don't have, it's not disrupting what you're already doing. So let me ask you, Ramin, why quit? Why quit? If this is the only light you have, that end of the tunnel, because certainly the restaurant business wasn't the answer. That's why you came to us to begin with. So you're here now, and you're going to quit for whatever reason you've created. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. You quit. Now what? Is there another option? Is there a better option? I had to be honest with myself. I said, you know what? Yeah, there's nothing out there. I know for me, it was going back, just doing what I was doing before MLM, which is keep struggling in the traditional business. Although we had a good business, supposedly, you know, it was one of the busier ones, but I just hated it. That's when I went back, Reza and my mother fully They expected me to go back and say, that's it, we were done. When I went back to the pizza business, to the pizza shop, and they said, what happened? I said, well, we're going to make this happen no matter what it is that we have to do. That was the last time I attempted to quit. And here we are 26 years later. So I went through that process, the mindset. I call it 3 stages of commitment in forensic. The 3 stages of commitment. You want to write this down. Number 1, you attempt the commitment. You think you're committed. You're new. You look at it. You're excited. You're going to put the world on fire with this. That's called you're attempting commitment. Commitment attempt. That's stage 1. Everyone's excited. Stage 2, you go through some of the realities of the business or any business. That you have to get better. You're going to learn. You're going to have some yes and some no's. There are some people that will tell you to go fly a kite. That stage 2 for some people becomes the quitting stage. Quitting stage. So stage 1, you're attempting it. Stage 2 is the quitting stage. Unfortunately, most stay there and they quit. But if you manage to lift them up, be there for them, like Jim was there for me, and make him realize that this is normal, then it goes to third stage, which is called commitment commence. Commitment commence. That's when you're in it, and that's when you look at the mirror at nighttime before you brush your teeth. You're going to look at yourself, and you're going to say, I'm going to make this happen no matter what I got to do. So some of you guys are in commitment attempt. You're excited. You think this is good. You're going to put the world on fire. But you know what? What the next stage is commitment quit. The quitting stage. If you manage to stay close to your My 5, you qualify My 5, that you're on the map of Reza and Leo or Renee and Maria and Sherry and whoever else, Comfort and Rabbi Razak and all these guys, and get yourself to the quitting phase, and you go to stage 3, commitment commence, you couldn't possibly fail. There is no way. There is no way you can fail. So we're moving into a whole bunch of stories and ideas that, you know, maybe I wasn't even planning to, but that's just me. When you spend 26 years on the field like a soldier building this, you experience so much stuff, valuable stuff, valuable. I wish somebody would have told me this stuff. But you see what? A lot of stuff I talk about in forensic, I didn't find in any textbook. It was the experiences that I went through, because I was not one of those polished people who had the MBA degree. I was not one of those polished people who had a sales degree. I was not one of those polished people that seemed that they had it in them to begin with. I was a 20-year-old young athlete with a white shirt with red stains all over it. Pizza sauce. That's how I got started. And I worked my way up to be where I am today. If that 20-year-old athlete in a pizza business can go ahead and change the modern world, do what we've done with forensic, do what we've done with you guys, and what we're going to do, every single one of you are willing to do this. As long as you were as desperate as I was. It's easier for you to do it now than I was, because for me, we didn't have this opportunity, these products, we didn't have these type of stats. You got the best stats in the world, best company, best comp plan, best products, and you've got, it's a binary system. That means every single one of you, you go far enough in the tree, you're going to have all these company millionaires in your direct upline, which are willing to help you to get where you want to get to. All right. You know, we can talk about this all day long, but why don't Sherry spend the last 10 or 15 minutes on some of the promotions and some of the posters. Maybe you want to go to that first poster. All right. You know, I got to tell you, it gets kind of tough with all the crazy, insane promotions we've had. It gets kind of tough to put out stuff that excites you guys. I mean, this is a company that gives away exotic cars, luxury cars. This is a company that's putting people on private jets from city to city with private security. This is a company that instead of selling juice and cookies and, you know, creams, this is a company deals with, you know, luxury items. I mean, look in our sentences, who we going after? Names of Gucci and Versace and Yves Saint Laurent, and so it's hard for me to come out stuff that's actually shock you guys, because you guys, like, you're pretty blessed with everything we've got going. So my whole focus is the brand new person. Because this business is not about some of you guys have been on for a while. You're used to making money, a free-flowing plan, it just pays. But how can we create, and I'm all about also instant gratification, instant profits, now cash. To be, it's up to me. Love that stuff. I mean, we love the residual, that's why we do this. And we got the world's best residual comp plan. But that new person, before the residual is built, put some serious cash in their jeans. I love that. So here it is. Go out there and launch 10 VDMs. And these VDMs come with a product package in them, the $500 product package. The wholesale profit on that product package is $50 already. That's for your compensation plan now. So if last month you launched a new VDM, you got a $50 wholesale profit on the product package that's included in that VDM. Just for the month of November, I'm going to triple that. I'm going to triple that. Simple. 300%. That's what triple is. 300%. Nobody does that. This is not like one of those promotions that, oh, well, we're going to give you extra 10% products. Like my first company, you buy 9 cases, you get 1 case for free. You buy 9 cases, you get 1 case for free. No. What we're saying, you buy 1 case, you get 3 cases for free. In comparison, right? So I'm tripling your wholesale profit. You go ahead and bring in 10 VDMs, you got to do 10. That means you got to go to work. And normally you would have made $500 wholesale profit on the product packages in those 10 VDMs. Your normal wholesale profit would be 500. I'm going to triple it to 1,500. It's a $1,000 bonus. Simple. We did a video on this. That's on our Global Wealth Trade corporate page, Facebook page. And again, I always talk about the latest and greatest news is always on the Global Wealth Trade Corporation Facebook page. GWT family is fine, but that's not where you go to first. You go to Global Wealth Trade Corporation Facebook page. You get all the company. That's a company page where you get all the news goes there first. Where you see it in any other page came from there. So you want to make sure you go to the Global Wealth Trade Corporation Facebook page. You like it, and you comment, and you just, that's where you go to every single day, and you share it from there into your own page or whatever else you want to share it with. So, time for you to put $1,500 in your jeans. Now, last month, I believe it was last month, we had a gentleman in the U.S. who launched 16 videos. I have no doubt, had we had this promotion, he would have done 20. But you know what? Every 10 gets you $1,500 in your jeans. You can, so every 10 make $1,500. So not only you're going to get some now cash, which is great, imagine the type of momentum that sets in your whole organization. Because speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. You start that way, that's the culture moving forward. So, simple, 10 VDMs, silver and above, retailers, you know, retailers are for selling products retailing only. Silver or above, because it has to include the product package with a wholesale profit, right? So we're tripling the wholesale profit in the product package of the main packages. $1,500 in your jeans. I know that, Raz, you and your team are already planning for this. What is your plan of action? We got 10 VDMs, and you're in all over the cities, all these countries. What is your plan of action, Raz? You and your first generation and second generation, what are you guys going to do in the next 30 days to make sure that you put as many $1,500 in people's jeans over the next 30 days?
Well, you know what? Before even was the due date for this, at the moment we heard about it, we started posting it all over the place, started texting people all over the place, past prospects, new prospects, old members, new members, just about everybody. Trying to get the message out as soon as possible with as much enthusiasm and excitement as possible. Like you said, dusted off that forensic box. It wasn't dusty really, but we dusted it anyways. And started going over the scribbles, started going over all kinds of stuff just to make sure to get this out to as many people as soon as possible. Reason I'm saying that is it's great for me to take advantage of this. It's even greater for me to get my new people, the ones that haven't joined yet, or the ones that already joined, to be able to take advantage of this. So I try to maximize that in any which way. Got two members launched already. And you know what? I'm trying to do that within the first 2 weeks, not the whole month. I want to give this opportunity to as many people as possible. So yeah, going at it hardcore, and I think you can all feel the vibration throughout the whole organization. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's excited about it. So I have no doubt it's going to be huge November. Absolutely.
We talked about $1,500, and I know in GWT that's small money to you guys. I mean, a car program per month is that alone. I get that. I know how spoiled you guys are. But let me tell you something. In Africa, we're talking about the average middle class income is about $600 a month. That's almost 3 times of a monthly income. So if you are in Africa, imagine if your boss tells you, put in some extra hours this month, and I'm going to quadruple your check from 600 to 2,500 or 2,000. If your boss told you this month, put some extra hours in, and instead of getting 600 or 700, you'll get paid 2,000 or 2,100, how many extra hours do you put in? But guess what? That call will never come from your boss. But guess who can make that call? You can. You are self-employed. You run your own business. You are a luxury consultant. Make that call. Give yourself that raise. Go out there. If you're in Europe, I've been to Portugal. Average income $600, $700. I've been to Italy. Average income $900 to $1,000. Most of Europe is the same. Caribbean $700, $800, $600. It's the same. Your boss is not going to give you a 300% raise at any time, anywhere in your lifetime. That call will never come from your boss, but it'll come when you can make that call. Outside your job, start putting in some serious hours in and give yourself that raise and put $1,500 in your jeans. Not only the money is good, but imagine the type of precedent you're setting for your people. I mean, if I was on the field, I mean, I would love the $1,500. I'll keep putting the tens up there and keep racking the $1,500 in my jeans. I'll pack my jean pockets with this $1,500. But you know what I would want to do? I want to make sure that people that came in, that they put $1,500 in their jeans. That's what I would do. It's not about you. It's about everyone else. Let's sell some products. Let's go out there, promote some products. Go out there, start talking. Stop being an MIA distributor, the 007. You know that nobody knows what you do. Don't be a James Bond distributor. You want to start telling people what you do. Shout it from the rooftop and collect some $1,500 bills for the month of November. Before we move on, maybe we can have Maria. Maybe we can have Sherry. Maybe we can have Sean, whoever else. Maybe we can have Abdul Razak or Crawford. Maybe you guys want to tell me what you have plans for this insane promotion.
Hello, Ramin. This is Sherry here. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Well, before I share, may I ask 2 questions from the field? The first question about this one, basically, people ask if upgrade from retailer to silver counts for this month.
You mean no? Because the current retailers, they don't have the promotion wasn't available for the current retailers. So no, if somebody comes in, if it's a new retailer and that upgrades, yeah, that's fine, that works. But the current retailers to upgrade, the promotion wasn't available.
You mean if they joined like 2 months ago as a retailer and want upgrade to silver this month, is not that doesn't count as one of the 10?
Well, you know how it is, Sherry. That if we apply that concept to every promotion we come up, then we always have to go back 10 years and allow everybody to take advantage of it. No, it starts right now. Let's keep it simple. Get to work, guys.
Okay.
And guess what? If you have a current retailer, it makes, you should have been in contact with them before now. Why are you not motivated to make it now? Why wouldn't you do that before now? But if you have a current retailer, you make sure you give them this promotion, get them so wrapped up so they can put $1,500 in their jeans and all of that. You're going to make a fortune on the CV. So you want to make sure that you use the promotion to get all your retailers upgraded because they're now out there promoting and launching new videos.
Perfect. Okay, got it. So, but if it's a retailer just joined, like maybe a few days ago or within the month, would that count or no?
Look, let's not nickel and dime each other on this, guys. Go out there. It starts now. Go out there, start launching 10 VDMs. All right, because we're always going to have new promotions. Now, if you come to me, and I don't want to promote this, if you come to me and say, you know what, I have 19. But I need that one more, and I had lunch 2 days before the promotion. Would you allow that? At the office, we want to have a concept. We have a culture out of my office, and the culture is find a way to say yes. But if you're going to go back 16 months and launch and upgrade every retailer, this is not what this is all about. I want new momentum, fresh people, fresh workforce with a new attitude.
Got it. Love it. Thank you so much, Ramin. You are always being the nicest CEO out there, and I love everything you put together. And thank you so much for the for joining this call last minute and give us so much, and we learn so much from you all the time. And the workforce right now in Europe and Africa listen to you directly, and I believe everyone learned a lot from you tonight. So for this promotion coming up, I know me and my team, and we have already been talking about it and pushing it and share with all the luxury consultants. But of course, personally, I'm going to make a lot of more phone calls. I think right now, it's just as you always said, we've been hiding behind our keyboard too much. We really need to start to make calls. We need to make phone calls and meeting people face to face. That's the nature of our business, and make that work. And actually, 2 days ago, Tammy sent me a message saying, Sherry, phone call really does work. And I just signed up a new person. I said, great, the phone call does work, but we're hiding behind keyboards for too long because of social media, because of all this, text message. We just get used to hiding behind keyboards, but phone calls for sure work a lot better. So that's what we are going to do.
Terry, that's an excellent point. Imagine everything I just talked about today, I just put it on paper. You wouldn't even have 10% of the effectiveness if I just emailed this out. But you gotta feel the intensity in my voice and my conviction. Energy transfers to energy. We're all energy, so my energy and your energy is now mixed. We're as one. Now you're contaminated with my energy. You can't do that behind a keyboard. Very difficult to do that behind a keyboard. You have to be highly talented to do that, even portion of that behind the keyboard. That's why it's much easier. Get on the phone. It's a belly-to-belly business. It's a phone-to-phone business, and have them feel your enthusiasm and not read it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ramin.
Maria or Sean, what are you guys going to do?
Hi, Ramin. Can you hear me? Hi, Ramin. Can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead.
Awesome, great. What a call, Ramin. My phone is going non-stop. Everybody from Canada, from United States, from all over Europe, they keep sending messages. They're excited. You put everybody on fire. And it doesn't matter what we do on a weekly basis. It just takes one time for CEOs to be on the call to put everybody on fire. So thank you so much for this call. And I just wanted to share with you, since I'm in Europe, I brought all my forensic sheets, DMO, WMO with me. I couldn't bring the box, but I brought all the cards with me, and I make calls on daily basis using the Skype, and I book myself for so many meetup groups in Barcelona. I'm going on daily basis to different business meetup groups, and I meet a lot of people. I was just sharing with Sherry on the call the other day, and I was just giving her a report. I'm like, it's unbelievable that you know, even though I'm here out of the Canada, but I'm like meeting more and more new people, and I'm doing the business, and I'm showing the tool. One of the things we started to do for this upcoming week, we started on Wednesdays. Myself and Eddie, we start talking on the Skype, and we're going to have a webinar for forensic accountability, where we're going to just hold each other accountable on the webinar, and we're going to go through the DMOs and talk about what we accomplish, and we're going to hold each other accountable and everybody on the team on weekly basis to make those phone calls, do those tours, get those 10 people in the business during the month of November. And for some of us in the team, we already promised 20, because you want to get double that than what you put on the flyer. So those are the things that we'll be doing, and we're very excited, and thank you so much for this call.
Awesome. Hey team, you got 30 days. That's it, 30 days. And it's not about the $1,500. It's about momentum, massive momentum. So don't wait. Oh yeah, I'm going to do something. No, start day one. You got 30 days. You got prorate. You basically need 2.5 people a week. 2 tall ones and a short one. No, I'm just kidding. But the reality is, you can't wait to launch 10 the last 3 days. You want to go ahead and start day one. Day one, I'm going to launch one. Day two, I'm going to launch one. So if you can start from day one, you can double the 1,500 to 3,000 to 4,500. You'll be shocked. You have no idea how you could shock yourself of what your capabilities are if you really come out of your comfort zone. If you switch gears, we can take you from an economy car and put you behind a McLaren. But you know what? If you're going to drive like you drive your economy car, the car is not going to be any faster. We've given you the vehicle. You got to change. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. The late Jim Rohn. Those two statements changed my life, and it's my guiding light every single decision, every single day. All right. Is Sean on? Anyone else before we move on to the next poster?
Hi, Ramin. Can you hear me?
Hi, Sean.
Hi. Thank you again for doing this awesome call. Yes, I already started communicating to all my first generation, especially because you know, I want to see every one of them go to another level. And I know this promotion, and I even put a special incentive on top of this promotion for any of my first generation that hit it.
Love it. Love it.
I know the momentum, as you said, and so I know as many of my first generations I can get to hit this, and I told them duplicate it to their first generation, and so I know exactly what it can do, and you know, I'm looking to push into that 10K weekly cap club. So I know a promotion like this is absolutely the one that can take business to another level, and I'm going for it myself, because you said it all starts with us doing it, and then we do it. It duplicates in our team. So I'm going to be pushing hard. I'm going to be on with my first generation, you know, every day, every week, helping them to hit it. And I know it will start us ending the year strong and getting ready for absolutely massive 2016, going into our 10th annual convention. So very excited. Thank you, Ramin.
Sean, you know, I know we just finished the promotion. You want to talk about the new one? Because, yeah, so no, I mean, actually, you know what? I know that's constantly we add on to things. We always go on with different things and so on and so forth. And maybe you can share what it is that you put on top of about this.
Well, look, let me before Sean goes there. We learn in the industry. Outside the company promotions, you need to have your mini promotions for your team. So the company's got the big stuff, you got your small stuff. Company's got the big recognitions, you got the small recognitions. You have to have Act like a mini corporate office. We pull out something, you pull out something. And I want to congratulate Sean and Reza for doing that. I know that many of the leaders do. So, but again, people in Sean's team, they're not people in Abdul Razak's team or Comfort's team. You want to make sure that you have these mini promotions. When a company puts a big promotion, you put a mini promotion to boost the company promotion and reap the reward. So maybe Sean can give us an example of what you guys are doing to boost the company promotion.
Well, Ramin, as always, your BDB that you created for us, it's always been for travel and for basically incentives and bonuses back to the team. So I know we just had one that finished for the cruise, where we had some people who won their way to a free cruise on top of the ambassador cruise. And now basically with this promotion, anyone who launches diamonds as a part of the 10, so not just the 10 VDMs, obviously silver and above, but if any of those 10s are diamonds, then they're going to get an extra basically cash bonus on top of the $1,000 for launching diamonds within those 10 VDMs.
Great stuff. Nice. I love that. Like I said, guys, start acting like leaders. I always say, you want to elevate your income, you got to elevate you first. You can, sometimes in this industry, because it's a leverage industry, your income grows. Like I tell you, if you don't grow with it, then you're going to find yourself obsolete soon. So we put that out there. Make sure you call your generation 1. These are people you personally brought in, and generation 2, people that they personally brought in, and have these mini conversations about every promotion that the company puts out. Have a strategy session about it. All right, Sherry, next poster, please.
Maria, would you please unmute Abdul Razak? I think Abdul Razak is on the call and waiting for sharing.
Perfect. Our African hero, our Nigerian hero.
Good evening.
Talk to me.
Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. Wow. What can I say?
I just want your energy. I think we're cutting out Abdul Razak. I can't hear you.
We also have Comfort on the call. Maybe while we're waiting for Abdul Razak come back, and we can have Comfort sharing first.
Sure, let's do that. Madam Ambassador.
Hi, Comfort. You are unmuted. Please, I don't know if you have a mic that's working, but it would be great if you can share a few words right there. Yeah, Abdul Razak and Comfort are both unmuted, and we just couldn't hear from them somehow. I think that's the challenge from them from their on the computer, the internet.
Let's see if we can get them connected to an audio, maybe audio version. You are unmuted. Try to get back in, Comfort and Abdul Razak, and we love hearing from you. All right, so I'm going to keep talking. Once you got it figured out, we want you to share. All right.
We have our diplomat, Robert Watkinson, like to share. He's all the way, he just come from Toronto.
Make it very quickly because we'll move on to the next poster. Go ahead, Robert.
Hello, Robert. Your line's unmuted. Please unmute yourself, and then so we can hear from you. I see your hands up, and I saw you're posting, and I don't know, but your line is muted on your side.
There we go. Now?
Yeah, now we can hear you, Robert. Yes, yes, my account.
On my cell phone for the call, I had to try and figure out how to work it. Anyway, for our team, for Added Touch, Sandy Watterson's team, we've added an additional bonus that runs until December 15th. If anybody makes Diplomat, they will receive a 5-day Disney vacation.
Oh, that's wonderful. Love it. By the way, folks, Robert is our tax strategy man, I should say, not tax man, tax strategy man. It's the opposite than a tax man. good stuff. He does a lot of seminars, how to save taxes. That's how he built his business. Robert, proud of you. That's awesome. Again, company puts out a big promotion. You come up with a small promotion.
That's a very good promotion. Thank you, Robert. I wish I'm a part of your team so I can go to Disney with you guys.
Okay, next question, please.
Okay.
All right, the big event, the Nigeria Summit. Might as well call it the Africa Summit. Can't wait to get there. And you know what? We're doing it with style. It's the first time we're coming down there, and we're going to blow this up beyond we've ever done. Beyond what we've ever done. Let me share with you our current biggest event we've ever had. Was in the island of St. Lucia. 180,000 people, in an island of 180,000 people. We had a major summit. I'm telling you the story because it's up to you, Nigeria, to beat that. And you should have no problem doing that with 160 million people. You got 1,000% more population than St. Lucia did. 160,000. Here's what happened. Driver picked me up, rainy day. They brought me in the stadium-like place. Parking lot was so full, I was thinking, where are we going to park the car? The car kept driving. Went to a fence. The electronic fence opened up. Blue light flashing inside. The car took me right inside the compound. And there is a black BMW 760 IL, black with a bunch of police bikes around it, blue light flashing. He was the Governor General sitting in the car waiting for me to come because my driver was late, so we were late. I'm rushing out. I thought this was some type of stadium. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. That's why there was so many cars. Turns out there was only one event going on in this stadium. It was like a double-decker theater. It was Global Wealth Trade. 800 people jammed this theater, double-decker. On the front row, I was embarrassed that the driver was late. So I was trying to sneak in. Of course, as soon as I walked in, they announced it. The CEO of Global World Trade just walked in. Everybody got up, and I was trying to sneak in. On the front row, who's on the front row? Every minister that St. Lucia has was on the front row, including the leader of the opposition was on the front row. Shook all their hands. I sat down, and that's when the Governor General walked in after me. She was waiting for me to come. Walked in, and we had a fashion show that night. And Ambassador Vernacia and her power team and Arthur, these folks, what an amazing event. Point is this, there are 800 people in this event and island of 160,000. Nigeria, what are you going to do? Think about that. What are you going to do? We're going to blow this place up. We're going to create as many millionaires as we can. You guys already have a whole bunch of people in your market that hit it out of the park already, some on this call tonight. So we're going to do it big. We're going to show up. There's going to be private security. There's going to be private jets. There's going to be 5-star hotels. There's going to be, we're going to change some lives. We're going to give some mental boot camp to our current fleet. We've got 5,000 or 6,000 LCs already in Nigeria. We're going to go there. We're going to reach inside anyone that we can, anyone that allows us to reach inside, and we're going to shake things up. Because for me, you build business tycoons one LC at a time. Abuja, we're there. Warri, we're there. Lagos, we're there. Now is your chance to go ahead and get yourself, become the next Comfort. Go become the next Abdul Razak. Go become the next Kafinas or Dr. Anthony's, or the next Lucy's or Myowa. Your chance now is to do that. Don't wait till the last week to try to invite people. Bad strategy. That's a strategy of failure. Your people should be hearing you shout from the rooftop now. You should have at least in every city. It doesn't matter what city you're in. You're booking all 3 cities. It doesn't matter if you're in Warri. You're booking Abuja and Lagos. It doesn't matter if you're in Lagos, you're booking Abuja and Warri. You're calling everybody. And you want to make sure by the time we leave, we're going to be there for 7 days. By the time we leave, you've got yourself in massive momentum to get, obviously, before we leave, you have a chance to get yourself qualified for that cruise, because that's all it takes is the ambassador. That's all it takes, 10 people, 3 diplomats. You can do that the week that we're there. And then, of course, RAs within the next 4 to 6 months. So I can't wait. I'm just not coming by myself. I'm bringing the number 2 in the company, our senior VP, chief designer, and that woman will be there. She's going to rock your world with Park Info. What's coming up with the new designs, what's coming up, a new design house in Europe. I'm bringing a top millionaire, multiple award winner Sean Haynes and Reza. We're bringing Mr. Africa, Mr. Brian Erndal. I'm bringing a full team. That's my commitment to you. My question to you is, Nigeria, what are you going to do? We're flying in 30 hours away. South Africa, are you flying in? All the side countries, are you coming to Nigeria for this? You should be. And if I was in one of those countries around Nigeria, boy, I'm going to pick a tail over this. Nigeria has done you a great favor. They've done such an amazing job that we're coming in. So it doesn't matter what country you're in Africa, you better piggyback on this. Start getting on the phone. Get some Nigerians to come to the tour. Start a team there. Bring your team with you. This should be more like an Africa summit, courtesy of Nigeria. Let's rock it, team. Let's see if Ambassador Comfort, Ambassador Razak, or any of the RAs in Nigeria, I want you to comment here.
I believe Comfort and Abdul Razak still on the call and still unmuted. We just couldn't hear from Abdul somehow. We can, but we can try. Abdul, would you please try again to talk? That would be great. In the meantime, I see Dr. Anthony and I believe his wife and Regional Ambassador Joy is on the call. And let me see if we can unmute them to talk. Hello, Dr. Anthony. Hello, Dr. Anthony. Are you? I just unmute you on your line, and please unmute yourself. That'd be great.
While we're trying to figure this out, Comfort says the cash promotion is on, and we're heavily on this. And she also said the webinar is really powerful.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr.
Whoa, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. A great call. I'm just so revved up right here. We're doing some dancing, some back diving, and everything all right here in our room. My wife and I, Regional Ambassador Joy, you know, so excited about the Nigeria Summit, excited about the training tonight and everything that has been going on. You know, we just can't wait for the 3rd week of November. I mean, it's hyped up already. You know, the business is just looking good. I mean, we were screaming when we saw the 10 for cash promotion for November. You know, a very big thank you to our CEO, Ramin. This is just absolutely off the hooks. It's just going to be raining new VMs all over the place. I mean, no objections here. We are in the best company. No company like this. The innovation is amazing. The pace of work is amazing. The thinking ahead is amazing. I mean, we're not even talking about the next 5 years now. You know, we've left 10 years ahead. We've left 20 years ahead. We're talking about the next 100 years. People, we are not looking at what is taking place around now with other companies. We are not in the same league. We are out of the league with other people. We're just moving ahead. You know, all I'm going to say about all this is, hey, look, we've dug into this. This is the best of the best opportunity, and we are doing everything that we need to do to take our business to the next level. Ramin, watch out. Watch out, people. We're going to rock this.
Wow. Wow.
I'm loving it. I want that energy. That's what I want. I want that energy. I'm loving it. It reminds me of the Caribbean, man. You know, so much soul and heart and energy, and I love this. North America needs to learn from that, though. We need some of your energy, and you know what? And the people who make it in MLM, they are off the walls because you don't inspire anybody when you're not off the walls. You don't inspire anybody when you're reserved. You want to make sure if you're talking in reserve, it be with both of energy. So I love what I'm hearing. I can't wait to get there.
Hi, Ramin. Abdul Razak sent. Can you hear me, Ramin?
I can.
Yes, Abdul Razak sent a message. He said, "Hi Sherry, I don't know why you can't hear me, but anyways, I put a video on Facebook with the following message: time for AOMA. The only person that will stop you from getting an extra $1,000 in November 2015 is you. This is the time for you and everyone in your team to embark on all our massive actions. Finish 2015 strong. Start 2016 stronger. Big thanks to our CEO and founder, Ramin Mascarlu, and the corporate team. This promotion is very timely."
Terrific. All of massive action. Let's do it, Arthur. Let's do it, Comfort. I can't wait to be there. You guys got some amazing talent. When I get there, we're going to reach out within those amazing talent you've got, and we're going to take them to the next level, too. So I can't wait to get there. Sherry, let's go to the next slide. Let's close this call down. Our kids are upstairs. They'll be very, very patient, actually. This isn't a day off. This is a day that we're supposed to spend time with them. But you know what? This was important because that's what I call it. It's a duty call, and we're here. And I want to congratulate all of you that are on this call because I'm seeing on Facebook, people are saying, I'm in a mall walking, and I'm listening to this. People are saying, you know what? It's my daughter's birthday, and I'm listening to this. Congratulations. You get it. You understand what you got to do for your business. And the biggest news of all, the annual convention. We've talked about this before. You don't have much time, by the way. If you're in Nigeria, if you're in Europe, if you're in different parts of the world, your visa must be in now. If your visa is not in now, you're going to run into a massive risk of not even getting on time to get your visa for this. Canada is very finicky about this. So you want to make sure your visa is the very first thing you want to do. Put it in now. In your back office, we have the list that you need before you submit your visa to up your chances of it being approved. Again, don't wait. Canada requires minimum of 60 business days. That puts you about 90 to maybe 45 days to be sure that to 90 to 120 days to be sure that they actually look at it. And if there is something wrong, something's missing, which can be, you have to resubmit again. It's important that you do it now. And 139. As the late Jim Rohn says, you can borrow that from your kids. Let's go. You can't miss the 10th anniversary. You can't miss the biggest party in our history. You can't miss a milestone like this. This conference, really special to me. Every conference is important, but this conference is really special to me. Why? We made it 10 years. When 99% of the upstart companies are out of business, vast majority in the first 18 months, even more with the next 5 years, here we are, 10 years in, and we're going to the next decade. So this conference is more important than the 11th one. This conference is more important than the 12th one, or 13th, or 15th one. In fact, the next conference that's going to be as important as this is going to be the 25th anniversary. These are the major milestones, 10th, 25th, and you go from there. So ladies and gentlemen, don't miss this. Borrow it. Borrow the money you need. Or better yet, in this company, you can easily make $3,000 or $4,000 just retailing some products and pay for your trip. Whatever you have to do, you can't miss this event. Pretty soon, the early bird will finish. The price will go up. Many of you are waiting to, oh, I'll do it, and next thing you know, you missed the deadline. Next thing you know, we get a call, oh, you know what, I was away, can we extend it? The answer is always no. 139 Canadian dollars. Anyone outside Canada, you guys are very, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. Even with our bulk packages, enrollment packages, a diamond at 3,500. If this was any other company, you'd be happy to pay 3,500 US dollars, which is about 4,500 Canadian dollars. But because we're a Canadian company and kept in Canadian dollars, this costs you almost nothing. It costs you $100 US. If you're outside Canada, you work with US dollars, not Canadian dollars. So it costs you $2,600 for a diamond package, where in Canada it costs $3,500. You guys are extremely fortunate if you're outside Canada because you're used to working with US dollars. And the fact that Canadian dollars has plummeted, hasn't, US dollars is hyped, is inflated right now. Good for you because it costs you 1/3 less than it would normally cost you. 139. As a leader, buy 50 of them, buy 25 of them, and start selling it in your meetings. All the RAs, you're buying 10 minimum and sell it in your meetings. Don't wait for your people to, they go and buy it on their own. They won't. Or they're going to say, yeah, someday I will. They'll never get to it. Buy 10 each, 20 each, start selling them. When you sell that, buy 10 more. And guess what? If somebody buys like that, usually I put in promotion for them as well. I'll give them some for free. You go ahead and sell 10, 15. You know what I might do? Give them a free ticket for themselves. But this is the time. If you're outside Canada, I'm telling you, visas are going to be a problem. You want to make sure it takes time. We've given you all the ammunition you need to get approved. Make sure you're already in the mail this week. You're looking into it. 139, and it starts with you as well. As leaders, I know the biggest mistake leaders make is that because they know they're going to go anyways, they know they're going to be there, so okay, I'll buy it, doesn't matter. Here's the problem. If you haven't bought it, you're not talking about it. After all, you didn't do it. Now, I know you're going to do it. You know you're going to do it, but because you haven't done it, you're not talking about it. And because you're not talking about it, no one else is talking about it, and it's becoming a duplication of people not talking about the most important event in our 10-year history. And I'm getting tired of hearing, after 26 years, I hear it every company I've been with, 26 years, I hear it every time, that people show up to a conference and say, I wished my people were here. They missed such important, if this was a life-changing information that they missed. And yet next one, they buy their ticket, but they're not out there banging on people's heads to make them understand how important this is. Guys, 10th anniversary. You missed this one. You only got 5 months, 5 or 6 months. That's it, you got 5 or 6 months. You missed this one, you'll have to wait 15 more years to get a similar type convention, because I'm investing heavily into this, which I will not do for the 11th one after that. I'm investing into this one I will not do for the 12th, the 13th, the 14th. This is a 10th. This is special to me. We made it. And this is the beginning of the next decade. Cannot miss this one. So get on the line now. Do it now. Now. Get out and start ordering these tickets. Buy 10 at a time and start selling it in your local meetings and change your life at the next convention. Don't miss this. So I will pass at this point. I think this is the last slide, right, Sherry? I'm going to close the call myself, say goodbye. But I want you guys, I want the leadership, I want whoever wants to talk, I want you to talk, share with me tonight, within 30 seconds, what you're going to do with the convention, what you're going to do with the momentum, with the November promotion, what you're going to do for Nigeria Summit. I want to hear whatever it is that applies to you. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to hold my boy, and I'm going to listen to you folks. So from Ottawa, I'm going to sign off. I'm just listening. The phones are open. Time for you to share.
Wow, wow, wow. What a crazy call. It was definitely well worth it to cut it short with the kids, and they're still up there. We've been listening, we've been talking on this webinar, and it feels like we have an earthquake going on. ongoing earthquake, but it's okay. They're keeping themselves occupied, and you know, that's great that they let us actually be able to do this. So I'm happy with this. I'm really grateful for this call, and I know it's recorded. I'm going to share with absolutely everyone. I want everyone to feel this excitement. I know we have the record number of people on this webinar, even though it was last second. We sent it out to a few right leaders, and they shared it, and people keep logging in. So yes, we want to share this powerful call with absolutely everyone. Convention, it's not even an option. It's not an option. It's something that must be already prepared for from the previous convention, previous conference, and this one has been long overdue. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be massive. It's going to be incredible. I know we're going to have record number of people from different places in the world that are going to be attending. You know what? My targets are huge. I want to have I want to double the highest or even triple the highest numbers we've ever had before in the attendance. I mean, for $139, are you kidding me? This is unbelievable. This is something that's like a gift beyond a gift. So we got to promote this hard, make sure no members left behind, make sure absolutely everyone, including the neighbors and the uncles and family attending these convention, because it's going to be that powerful.
And Ambassador Cruz leaves right next day.
Oh yeah, and the Ambassador Cruz leaves right after that. You know what? This is just insane. This is just incredible. Cannot wait. So yes, guys, let's get to work. You saw what we could do this afternoon. A couple of quick messages, some leadership, connecting, and you know what? Getting everyone to do what we should be doing all along. So you know, back to you, Sherry, and anyone else. Maybe Nigeria got unmuted. Maybe they can speak. If not, anyone else that wants to share, let's go.
We have Vernisha on the call, Reza. Vernisha has her hand up, and Vernisha, you're unmuted. You can go ahead and share.
Thank you, Maria. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, sweetheart.
Thank you. Ramin, I don't know what you're doing to me, what you're doing to us. You have me crazily insane, mad. I don't have words to describe this. I'm in Grenada. Sean and Reza just left it. I've lost my voice, get it back, lose it again, get it back, and I'm losing it again. And now it's going to be gone because this insanity that's happening. My gosh, I know you guys are going to Nigeria for November, but wait a minute. A summit is going to be happening in St. Lucia, in Grenada, at the same time, because I know we're going to keep the social media so busy and so crazy that Nigeria will be too disturbed by us. So Nigeria, I'm encouraging you now to stay focused because we're going to distract you big time. Ramin, thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
Ron, by the way, Vernisha's from St. Lucia. I just told you the story. Nigeria, you're trying to beat St. Lucia for the summit that's coming up as well. St. Lucia came within half a dozen VDMs of beating Nigeria. As you can see on the country report that I posted a few days ago on our Global Wealth Trade Facebook page. In fact, Australia and Nigeria, Australia and St. Lucia, they're within a dozen VDMs of Nigeria. So Nigeria, you almost got dethroned by 6 VDMs over St. Lucia, which is an island of 108,000 people. Now I know, you know, Nigeria's momentum has been massive for the past year. I'm just telling you, that's what's going on with this company right now worldwide. And now you have a chance, Nigeria, to dethrone St. Lucia with the type of summit you're going to throw with all the leaders, because when Vernisha did what she did, it was just her and a couple of her main leaders, starting with Arthur Anthony. So here you are, you have an opportunity to rewrite history for GWT's biggest summit.
I think this is very exciting, Ramin. I think we have Gloria Gutikunst. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I have her hand up. Gloria, you have you're unmuted. You can go ahead and speak. If you unmute yourself, you would be able to speak. Sean and Sherry, if you see anybody else putting their hand up, if anybody want to share with our CEO anything, put your hand up and we can unmute you. And meanwhile, while we're waiting, I can read some of the comments for you, Ramin. We have Antia says, "We are with you, Vernisha. Can't contain myself. Nigeria, look out." Thank you so much, Ramin and Reza, for this powerful call. There is no turning back. That is Antia. We had Lamia said, "Thank you very much for this opportunity." Teresa said, "Have my visa and my ticket already. They're flying in." We have Eddie Burness said, "Love this promotion. Definitely taking advantage of this to buy the ferry red line." We have Nero Baston said, "Find a way to say yes. Wow, wow, wow. What a company, what a culture, what a CEO. We are truly blessed." Goosebumps all over. Anna and McLean said, "Dominica is listening and taking notes. Thank you to our amazing CEO. God bless." And the comments are keep coming. Sherry or Sean, do you have anybody who, I already unmuted Gloria. I don't know, maybe she has problems.
Hi Maria, there's Corona D'Souza who had, I believe it's her hand raised. So Corona, your line is unmuted, but you need to unmute yourself. I think that's the same case with Gloria. You need to unmute yourself, but you're unmuted on our side. There's also, let me see, Mark Jackson. So Mark, your line's unmuted as well if you want to speak. Again, you need to unmute yourself.
LC Christine from Germany said, "Please tell Ramin that I want to invite him in Germany. I want to have the same just like Nigeria has in Germany with thousands of people and luxury consultants." So that's what Christine from Germany said.
While we waited, Maria, I just wanted to add, you know, first of all, I bought my conference ticket immediately when it came out because I remember we used to pay over $500. Sorry, convention ticket. I remember we used to pay over $500 for convention tickets, and I mean, they were all amazing, but we know nothing will come close. Every convention gets better and better, but this 10th one is going to be the most epic one. It's the one that's going to be talked about 10 years from now. So $139, that's the absolute giveaway. And, you know, once you buy your ticket, you're committed in your mind, and everything else will fall into place to be at convention. But this is absolutely one convention you can't miss. And also when you buy your convention ticket, because you know the deadline for the ambassador cruise is December 30th, you'll make sure that you also do everything you need to do to get on that cruise, since we're leaving right after convention. And the last thing is, this business is all energy. I mean, our CEO has given us the greatest equalizer business in the world. That's the only way that a St. Lucia can compete with countries that are tens of millions, hundreds of millions. You know, the energy of our ambassador Vernisha, and she's transferred that energy into so many in St. Lucia. I know she's taken the whole month she's spending in Grenada now, transferring that energy there. But it's just the energy and excitement of one person seeing the vision of our CEO. You know, now small islands in the Caribbean, because of this incredible compensation plan that, you know, our CEO has made, that equalizes the world, where everyone has the same opportunity. You know, we've seen what can happen. So, but I know what Nigeria is going to do, so I'm very excited to be in Nigeria to witness rewriting of history. I was there in St. Lucia when they set that historic night, and I know it's going to be incredible in Nigeria. So back to you, Maria.
Thank you so much, Sean. I'm really jealous of you guys flying with the private jet. I wish I was there. So Nigeria, you better take advantage of this this big momentum and invite everybody and jam-pack the room. But it's exciting, and I can't wait for the convention to fly in from Europe with an airplane of Europeans to the convention, and just like you said, I have my convention ticket, and like Ramin said, we're gonna do the same thing. Probably gonna get 50, hundreds of tickets and start sending it to the team. Thank you so much, Ramin, for that great idea. We are trying to see, I believe Christine also wanted to speak, but I can't see the name. I can't see the microphone to be able to unmute.
I think everybody who wanted to speak is unmuted, but I think for whatever reason they're having problems on their lines. In the meantime, I do see some other comments, Maria. We have Charlene Lewis, Joan Lewis, also from Dominica, saying, thank you, Ramin. I'm so excited. I feel my mind is exploding. Thank you, thank you, thank you for mentoring us here in Dominica. Thanks for this great opportunity. Maureen Apollo says, thanks, Ramin. This is the most exciting webinar ever. I am so revved up. I'm screaming, I'm laughing, I'm jumping. We Team Nigeria loves you, Ramin. CEO with a different, CEO of life, CEO of wealth. Thanks a million times, Diplomat Maureen from Nigeria. And then we have Anne, Diplomat from Dominica, saying, I have my convention ticket early o'clock. Looking to meet all my leaders who are directing me and other LCs working our investment properly to success. Okay, so I think that's all. I don't see any other comments at this time, Maria, and it doesn't look like anyone can unmute themselves to speak at this moment.
Yes, I believe there is a problem maybe with their side to be able to unmute themselves. I'm not sure if the webinar system, because we had more than 3, or if it's their microphone. But thank you so much, Ramin, for this amazing webinar. Again, for your time, you should be with your family now, but you're on the call. It's been a few hours now. Thank you so much for your time, and this call is just amazing. It's just like the biggest news now in town. Everybody talking about it and sending messages. So thank you so much, Reza. Thank you so much, Ramin, and all the leaders for being on the call with us today.
Good night, everyone.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ramin. Thank you, Reza. Thank you, Maria. And just one more thing for the announcement part. I really wish to have more local leaders from Nigeria and from Europe to step up and to do trainings, take care of Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. It's extremely important, because the more trainers you have in your team, the better duplication, and your team is going to be a lot stronger. So please message me if you are, you want to schedule to do 1 or 2 part of the training. We are here, and we like to hear from some new voices too. So that's it from me. Thank you everyone for being on the call tonight.
Thank you, everybody. See you guys in a couple hours for those that are on the webinar tonight.
Thank you, Raja. I look forward to your training tonight.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Ramin.
Thank you. Bye.